Something that I really, really found creepy and interesting and was also really cool to look at, which was probably one of my favorite things to look at, was the scene when Art and Victoria were back at the mental institution, and his head, just his head, and that little worm fleshy thing that was on the ground that Victoria was feeding. That looked really creepy. Art's head, it looked super big and it looked super fucking creepy. And I felt like that whole scene was effective, especially when we get the headless Art coming down the hallway silently and waving. That was creepy. But I really, really loved whatever the fuck Art the head, I said Art the head, Art the clown's head was doing on the ground, how it was looking, how oily and wet and slick and nasty it was looking. I think that was absolutely perfect. And he needs to look like that all the time because he looked really fucking just gross and weird because he was wet looking and he looked grimier than usual. Yeah. So, guys, if you remember, All Hallows Eve, we seen our first introduction of Art the Clown. At least the first version. The more human version, I guess you would say, because his makeup was different. You know, he wasn't as shapely faced as he is now because it was two different actors. But if you go back to All Hallows Eve and we see the young lady at the train, she's reading. It's a empty ass train station. Of course, she's by herself. And here comes this random guy squeaking a goddamn horn. Then we go back to Terrifier 3. At the very end, which is also one of my favorite scenes, when we see Art the clown waiting at a bus stop in the snow, just sitting there calmly looking. We see this lady on the bus who reminds me of the lady at the train station. And so she's reading The Ninth Circle. And now, again, if we go back to All Hallows Eve, The Ninth Circle was the first short, actually the first movie that had a little bit of Art the Clown in it. And if you remember, it was the first short that was in All Hallows Eve about the devil and the three girls, the train station chick getting locked up underneath the train station. And then you seeing all these weird witches and demons and devils and a bunch of stuff going on. But Art the Clown was kind of the middleman. So now I'm starting to put it together, especially right just fucking now. I think I might, understand a little bit more as far as what Art really is and what his purpose is. He's working for the devil, is what it appears to be. Now, if he's possessed, I'm not necessarily sure if he's possessed, or if he's just like got a pact with the devil and he on some other shit. But when we first see Art the Clown, we did not see him with somebody who was a host like we did in Terrifier 3. Victoria ended up being the host, just like the little dead girl was the host. But in All Hallows Eve, I don't remember seeing anything like that. So I'm not necessarily sure what the host thing is about and why the devil would need a middleman and a demon to have a host, you know? But I see what Damian Leone, or Damian Leone, I can't fucking, Eating these cookies got me all tongue twisted as usual. I don't know if it's Damien Leone or Damien Leone. I always hear people say it both ways, so I'm just gonna say Damien. um, he did a very, very beautiful job at tying things up in Terrifier 3. Now, of course, everything is not going to make sense because it's not supposed to, because we still at least have one more movie, Terrifier 4, to get to, which more than likely will wrap everything up. And so I really appreciate how I seen so many different Easter eggs in the movie. I was able to pay attention to the background a lot more. And yeah, in certain scenes, I've seen different things that I didn't see in other scenes, just like what I was trying to get a hold of as far as understanding what they were getting at, as far as when we seen like Mother Mary, and she had like this weird armored looking silver dude with sharp teeth. Now I'm thinking that had to be like a Art the Clown type deal. That might be the demon that is possessing this individual. So, I think that was one of my favorite scenes as well. Something about that scene just was really, really scary. It was really, really creepy. And honestly, I want to see more of that. I feel like because we are definitely probably going to hell in the fourth one, because again, we seen the lady on the bus reading the ninth circle. The ninth circle ties back to hell and Satan in All Hallows Eve in that first short. So she said she gotta get Gabby. Will she kill Art the Clown? Honestly, I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't think she will. Because how exactly are you to kill him then? Like, you have to do some type of ritual, or like, because is he possessed or is the host possessed? Like, I'm confused. Is Art a regular person now that he has the demon to possess somebody else? And now Art the Clown is just, again, the middleman. He's just a henchman. I love these type of questions because I don't want to be able to just guess everything that's going to happen. I want to be able to look forward to the fourth installment in this, and I definitely am looking forward to the fourth installment. Like, I love this movie. So if I was to rank these movies, I would definitely do Terrifier 3 as the first. And then Terrifier would be second. And then Terrifier 2 would be third in this. Now, I'm not going to add All Hallows Eve because I'm just not going to add it. It doesn't have the Terrifier name. It wasn't simply about him, so I won't even add it. But what I will say is All Hallows Eve, the first one, was very, very interesting. I think the first short, it had potential, but wasn't all that great. But I liked, it didn't have to be great, but I seen what they were trying to do. Now, the alien one, I didn't really enjoy it. I kind of think that's everybody's least favorite short because it didn't make sense and it didn't fit into the theme of what All Hallows Eve is trying to do. And so the third one, which I believe is the last one, that was when we definitely got to meet Art the Clown and see what kind of thing he was, because that short, it creeped me the fuck out. It just creeped me out. Everything about it was creepy, and I feel like that short is what made Terrifier and then some. That molded Art the Clown, and to see that has to be tied in to all of these movies. It just has to be. Because as we seen in that third short, that lady, he cut all her limbs off and he wrote all these nasty words. He called her, a slut, a cunt, a bitch, a pig, all of this stuff he cut into her body. And then we look back, when Victoria was in the mental hospital, all that stuff that she wrote on the wall in blood. Art loves Victoria, cut, slunt, pig, this, that, and the third. So, I'm just very, very pleased with what Damien is doing. The fact that all 4 of these movies, yes, now I'm adding in All Hallows Eve, all 4 of these movies are connecting in ways that me rewatching Terrifier 3 has made me see. I didn't necessarily think All Hallows Eve was connected, but then when I actually sit back and reanalyze the movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm really enjoying the mystery over what the dad is, what his background is, and what's going on with him. I like the mystery in that, and I can't wait to see how they flesh that out, and hopefully they actually think about it and it's not something super stupid. So I've watched Terrifier a couple times, more than twice. I watched All Hallows Eve, I believe, more than twice. So far, I've seen Terrifier 3 twice. And Terrifier 2, I believe I only seen that once. And that was my least favorite. I feel like, I don't know, it was my least favorite because I don't think that the timing was right in it. The timing was a bit off. And when I say the timing was a bit off, in my opinion, in saying that the scenes were too long. Too long to where it was like, you know how awkward silence can be between people? After a while, scenes in Terrifier 2 became like an awkward silence where it was like, okay, we could probably wrap it up now. Not to say that it was a bad movie, because it definitely wasn't. I enjoyed Terrifier 2 and also did a nice review on it as well, just like I enjoyed Terrifier 3 and 1 and Hallows Eve. But what I am saying is Terrifier 3 is definitely the king in this franchise so far. Like, Damien listens to the fans, obviously, and I really, really hope that he keeps it independent. I'm hearing a lot of people hope that he keeps it independent, because we all know what happens when you sell over your rights and whatever to your art and your projects. Shits get turned upside down and turned into trash, and I really don't want that to happen. So I want him to keep it independent and take art as far as he can go. Keep the lore alive, but make it make sense to where it's like, oh wow, that's really fucking cool. I get that. Do I think Jonathan is really dead? I don't know. Something is like telling me that maybe he's not dead. But the fact that I knew that something was going to happen to him, not very great. You could just tell something was going to happen by the telephone call. Hey, Jonathan, I'm out here where you said to park, blah, 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 blah. And then you could just tell something eerie is off. So I'm like, damn, they didn't got to Jonathan. So I don't know. Jonathan might really be gone. He might really be out of here. It would be surprising If Art the Clown was to use him as a host, that would be interesting to see. We already know again that we have to go to hell to save Gabby. And obviously, hell can be anywhere under the ground or underneath you. Um, hmm. Another thing that I really, really is happy, not even happy, because I don't want to say happy, because no, that's not the right word to say. I was really surprised and entertained. Um, a scene that I really enjoyed was not only was Art the Clown handing out presents, because obviously nobody's parents are paying attention, and I think that could have been a message in itself. We've seen all the parents pretending to be busy, typing away on their phones, over like looking at their watch or looking around, just kind of just there and not paying attention. How does Art the Clown get the fuck away with looking how he does, sitting up there on the throne and handing out gifts? I mean, how is that little girl not scared? That don't look like Santa to me, honey. I don't know what the fuck kind of Santa this is, but I know he don't look like this. Yes, the explosion scene. The first time I seen that, I was not expecting it. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this was the equivalent to Art the Clown pulling out a gun on Tara, and I believe that was her name, pulling out a gun on her and shooting her in her fucking face 1,000,001 times in Terrifier. That bomb explosion was the equivalent, because I'm expecting some type of dead possum, like in the hallway in Terrifier 2, or like an animal or a rat, because in this one they love fucking utilizing rats. I'm thinking it's gonna be a little cute furry dead thing like that. It was an explosion. And we seen moms who were not paying attention, bloodied with no face. For some reason, Terrifier and Art the Clown and Damien loves the peeling and the having no face. So yeah, and limbs everywhere. So that was an interesting scene. The girl who was being a complete and utter prick, with the podcast, she looks odd to me. I don't know, when I first watched the movie and I seen her, I was like, oh, she looks a little odd. She looks like something I've seen before, but it wasn't a person. I don't know. I didn't like her character, but trust me, I'm pretty sure her character wasn't meant to be liked. It was meant for you to enjoy her shower scene and getting cut the fuck up with her boyfriend. And oh my God, why did her boyfriend have to die in such a horrible fucking way? He got flipped and dipped, literally. Yikes. Now, I don't know which scene would be worse. Would it be Terrifier, the first one, with the cut down the middle scene from the coochie to the head, or Terrifier 2, where we had one of the best friends in the bed getting her skinned and things peeled off. Also, she got bleach and salt poured on her. Or could it be this one, where we've got the boyfriend in the shower, butt-ass naked. He got the chainsaw from the crack of the ass on up, and then flipped over to get into the ball sack and up. He got his limb pulled off by hand. A lot was going on. A lot was going on, trust me. So I think I will end it with this. And if I have any more random ass thoughts from me seeing this movie, I will make a part 3. about my instant rewatch from Terrifier 3, seeing it for the second time at the movies. Which would be the most horrific kill? Would it be the first one, the second, or the third? And I hope you were fucking paying attention, because I literally just explained 1, 2, and 3. Let me know in the comments. And oh yeah, I do rate this movie still a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Bye, y'all.